السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد. I welcome you back to Qisas and Nabiyeen, and we are in the fifth volume, the last volume, inshallah ta'ala. We have the story of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and we are just at the time of his birth, inshallah ta'ala. Abdullah wa Aminah. Abdullahi wa Aminatu. وكان لعبد المطلب سيد قريش. And there was for Abdul Muttalib, the leader of the Quraysh, عشرة أبناء or عشرة أبناء. No, عشرة أبناء. It's اسمه كان, so عشرة أبناء. He had 10 sons. وعبد الله واسطة العقد. And Abdullah was the wasitatul iqd. Now, wasitatul iqd, it means the middle thing, no? You have the necklace, iqd is the necklace, and you have the biggest jewel. So the biggest of the jewel. So what he translated was the youngest. Wasitatul iqd, they translate it as youngest. But I don't know if wasitatul iqd means youngest or not. But that's how we translate it. I'm not able to find that was Abdullah the youngest of the sons. He was the best of them, that much I know. So we know Abbas, Hamza, Abdullah, Abu Talib, Abdul Naf, Zubayr al-Haris, and all these people, Dirar, Aba Lahab, Abdul Uzza, and 6 girls were there. He had 10 sons and 6 girls. Safiya, Hakim, Al-Bayda, Atika, Umayma, wa Arwa, wa Barra. I don't know if he was the youngest. Allahu Alam. So I found an answer. ما عليه جمهور علماء السير والمحققون منهم أن أبناء عبد المطلب كانوا 13. There were 13 sons. He had وأن أصغرهم كان العباس وحمزة. وأنهما ولدا بعد واقعة إرادته ذبح عبد الله. So he was the youngest when he reached 10, but after that we had Abbas and Hamza also رضي الله عنهما. وتكفيره من نذره وأنما ذكر ابن إسحاق من كون العباس حاضرا في تلك الواقعة لا يصح سنده. ثم في متنه نكارة مخالف لما عليه الجماهير. From what I understand, I get one from Tabari that he was the youngest son, but later on he had 3 more sons. That is Hamza and Abbas and one more maybe. And Hamza was the youngest radiallahu anhu because Rasulullah said they both are brothers in Rada', in suckling. They both are foster brothers. And Rasulullah before 3 years of Amul Fil, Abbas was the longest. So Abbas and Hamza was similar age of Rasulullah. Only Abbas was 3 years elder to him. Hamza was similar. But at that time, Allahu Alam, according to what Tabari says, he was the youngest. Allahu Alam. But we have to see, was he the youngest? Because he did not say Wasitatul Iqd is the youngest. He was the most loved one. All right. I just took a long time searching for it. وَزَوَّجَهُ أَبُوهُ آمِنَةً. And his father got married to Amina بنت وهب سيد بني زهرة. سيد بني زهرة. بنت وهب, she was the daughter of Wahab, who was the Sayyidi Bani Zuhra, the leader of Zuhra. Obviously, the chief's son, you should get married to a chief's daughter, and that's what happened. Banu Zuhra's chief was Wahab, and his daughters Amina. وهي يومئذ أفضل امرأة في قريش نسبا وموضعا. And she was the best of the women in Quraysh, nasaban, in terms of lineage, and mawdi'an, status. Mawdi' is a place to put, wada' yada'u is to place, but here the status, as he's translated. Okay. ولم يلبث عبد الله أن مات. Abdullah did not remain أن مات وأم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حامل به, and while the Prophet ﷺ was pregnant with him. So lam yalbath is to He did not remain, but he died. That means he did not pass away after long, as he translated, while the was حامل به وقد رأت من الآثار الآيات ما يدل أن لابنها شأنا. And she saw some signs which showed that great things were in store for her son. أن لابنها شأنا, that his son will have some matter, important matter. All right, the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ولادته الكريمة ونسبه الزكي, his noble birth and his pure lineage. وولد, it should be ولد, no? وولد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يوم الاثنين. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم was born on يوم الاثنين, Monday. اليوم الثاني عشر من شهر ربيع الأول, the 12th day from Rabiul Awal. The correct inshallah ta'ala is 9th Rabiul Awal. 12th is, I mean, there are differences of opinion, but 9th seems to be more correct. Allahu alam. Monday is proven, but 12 is but this is the most famous one. Amal Fil, on the day 570, that is 70 و500 المسيحي, Christian era. فكان أسعد يوم طلعت فيه الشمس. It was the happiest day the sun rose on which the sun rose. It was the most fortunate day, he translated. And he is وهو محمد بن عبد الله بن عبد المطلب بن هاشم بن عبد مناف بن قصي بن كلاب بن مرة بن كعب بن لؤي بن غالب بن فهر بن مالك بن نضر بن كنانة بن خزيمة بن مدركة بن الياس بن مضر بن معد بن عدنان. وينتهي نسب عدنان إلى سيدنا إسماعيل بن إبراهيم عليه السلام. And Adnan's lineage goes back, ends at Ibrahim, Ismail alayhi salam, at Ibrahim alayhi salam. فلما ودعته أمه أرسلت إلى جده عبد المطلب. When she gave birth, wada is to put again, to give birth is also used, no? فلما ودعته أمه, when his mother gave him birth, أرسلت إلى جده, she sent him to his grandfather عبد المطلب أنه قد ولد لك غلام, that it was a boy was born. Ghulam is also a boy. A slave also is called ghulam, from what I know. فنظر إليه, so he looked at him. فأتاه, so he came to him. So أرسلت إلى جده عبد المطلب أنه, أرسل is to, it seems that she sent the boy, but she sent news, she sent word. عبد المطلب أنه, this shows us that she sent a word to him. أنه قد ولد لك الغلام, a boy was born. This was sent. This annahu is the object of arsalat. That means she sent a message that a boy was born. So obviously sending the boy is difficult, no? فأتاه, so he came to him. فنظر إليه, he looked at him. وحمله, he carried him. ودخل به الكعبة, and he entered the Kaaba. وقام يدعو الله, and he stood and called Allah. وحمد يحمد ويحمده, and he was praising him. وسماه محمدا, and he named him Muhammad. وكان هذا الاسم غريبا, and this name was strange at that time. فتعجب منه العرب, so Arabs were surprised by it, or from it. وضعته, his breastfeeding. والتمس, nothing difficult words, no? I mean, not much new words. والتمس عبد المطلب لحفيده اليتيم الذي كان أحب أولاده إليه موضعا من البداية على عادة العرب. التمس is to held on, looked. لحفيد, Hafid is grandson, اليتيم, and his orphan grandson. الذي كان أحب أولاده إليه, and he was the most beloved of the children to him. مرضعا من البداية, مرضع, for a wetness for him. التمس is also to look. التمس, I was thinking of tamassaka. Tamassaka is to hold on. Iltamasa is to look. To look for. بحث يعني التمس والتمس عبد المطلب حفيده اليتيم الذي كان أحب أولاده مرضعا. He was looking, this is the object of iltamasa. He was looking for what? A murdi'. Murdi' is a suckling, wet nurse. Min al-badiyati. Badiya is from the countryside. Min al-badiyati. Badiyati. Ala عادة العرب. as per the habit of the Arab. وأدركت حليمة السعدية, and Halima Sa'diya found هذه السعادة, this happiness. هذه السعادة or حليمة السعدية, that means happiness found Halima Sa'diya, got this fortune. وكانت خرجت من بلدها, and she left from her country, from a land, تلتمس الرضاعة, seeking breastfeeding. وكان العام عام جدب. This year was a year of drought. So the verb is jaduba yajdubu or jadaba yajdubu, to become dry. Juduba is the act of being drying. So jadbun is drought. Jadbun. وكان العام عام جدب. So it could be عام جدب, yeah. عام جدب. The year of drought. The year was year of drought. جدب. وهم في ضيق وشدة, and they were in narrowness, ضيق and شدة, severe. They're trying in difficult conditions, as you translate. وعرض رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على جميع وعرض, it could be passive because he was presented. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم was presented على جميع المراضي فزهدنا. He was presented to all of the maradi. فزهدنا. Zahada is to be torn away, or to have zuhud, no? To leave something. So it could be zahada yazhadu or zahida yazhadu or zahuda yazhudu, to renounce, abandon, forsake, to leave something. For zahidina or zahadina fihi. They all wanted to, they left, abandoned him. وذلك لأنهن كن يرجون المعروف من أبي الصبي, because they were hoping for good things from this child, father of the child. I mean, if you have a father, it'll be easier. You'll get money. If you're an orphan, I mean, who'll give money? فقلنا, and they said, يتيم وما عسى أن تصنع أمه وجدته. He is yatim. He's an orphan. And وما عسى, what will perhaps their father and the mother and his grandfather will do? What hope is there? ما عسى, what hope is there? أن تصنع أمه وجدته, that his mother and grandfather will give. وهكذا فعلت حليمة, and Halima also did the same thing. In the starting, she rejected Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. فانصرفت عنه أول مرة, she turned away from him first time. ثم انعطف قلبها عليه, then her heart softened towards him, heart inclined. انعطف is to turn. نعم, انعطف منعطف is a turning. وألهمها الله حبه, and Allah inspired, placed love. Ilham is to inspire, which non-prophets get, no? Prophets get wahi, the other people gets ilham, like Allah inspires you. وَأَلْحَمَ اللَّهُ حُبَّهُ, Allah placed love for him. وَأَخَذَهُ, and it took. أَخَذَتْهُ, it should have been. Or, وَأَخَذَهُ, and he took it. That means Allah took the heart, maybe. Because if she took him, it should have been أَخَذَتْهُ. But I think he means that Allah took her heart. وَلَمْ تَكُنْ وَجَدَتْ غَيْرَهُ, and she did not find anyone else. فَرَجَعَتْ إِلَيْهِ فَأَخَذَتْهُ, so she returned to him and she took him. This أَخَذَهُ does not mean she took him here. It means as Allah took her heart. أخذه, maybe, Allahu Akbar. فرجعت إليه فأخذته وذهبت به إلى رحلها, so she went back to a caravan, رحل, to her conveyance, to her tent, maybe رحل. ولمست البركة بيدها, and she touched barakah with her hands. That means she touched Rasulullah, and there's a lot of barakah. فكان لكل شيء في رحلها شأن غير شأن. فكان لكل شيء في رحلها, and everything in a conveyance. رحل يرحل, رحيل is to set out, and rahl is a camel saddle or baggage, luggage, shopping place, camp. Rahl. Rihla is a trip. Rahl is the camp, you could say. Rahl. إلى رحلها وذهبت به إلى رحلها ولمست البركة بيدها and she touched barakah with her hands فكان لكل شيء في رحلها شأن غير شأن. And the matter in her camp was a different matter now. Everything has changed now. ورأت البركة في اللبان بفتح اللام, he says. اللبان الصدر أو ما بين الثدين, what is between the chests. الصدر is called laban, in a breast. Laban. And alban is milk. Jam'u laban is called alban. So she saw barakah in her breast, in the milk of animals also. والشارف. الشارف الناقة المسنة المهرمة. Sharif is the camel which is old, مسنة. جمع شرف بضم الأول. شو بضم الأول وفتح الثاني. شو مع التجديد. شرف. شرف is singular, he says, and Sharif is plural. والأتان. Atan is camels again. In the mules. The female donkeys are called, and singular. And her this thing, female mule, that is female donkey. So atan is a singular. Plural is atun or utun. Atun or utun. Okay. Insha'Allah ta'ala. Then what happened? وكل يقول وكل and everyone was saying لقد أخذت يا حليمة نسمة مباركة. Everyone is saying, oh Halima, you have taken a portion of blessing. وحسدتها وحسدتها سواحبها. You have taken a blessed child, Nismah, and her friends envied her. Hasada is to envy. ولم تزل تتعرف من الله الزيادة والخير. She continued experiencing or being acquainted with تتعرف is to be acquainted. تعرف يتعرف, to become acquainted, to disclose one's identity. من الله الزيادة والخير. She kept on receiving all these experience and goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. حتى مضت سنتان في بني سعد, until 2 years passed by in Bani Sa'd. وفصلته, and she made him wean, and he was thus weaned. فصلته, she made him wean. Fasala is to wean someone also, like weaning is to start eating, no? So the child, Rasulullah started eating. وَكَانَ يَشِبُّ شَبَابًا لَا يُشِبُّهُ الْغِلْمَانِ. And he grew up differently. He became a young man, not a young child, which no other boys used to become like that. He was different. وَقَدِمَتْ بِهِ رضي الله عنه على أمه. And she, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and she came to his mother. وطلبت أن تتركه عندها بعد الوقت. And she requested from him that he leaves her, or she leaves her with her at her place some time more. فردت إليها. So she returned. His mother returned to her. Returned him to her. That okay, she wants 1 more year. Go take it. وجاءه ملكان, and then 2 angels came. وهو في بني سعد, while he was in Bani Sa'd. فشقى بطنه, and they split open his stomach. واستخرج من قلبه علقة سوداء, and they removed from his heart a black clot. فطرحها, and they repelled it, removed it. They threw it. ثم غسل قلبه, and they both washed his heart. حتى أنقياه, until it was clean. أنقى ينقي is to clean. وَرَدَّاهُ كَمَا كَانَ, and returned it as it was. وَرَعَى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الغنم مع إخوته من الرضاع. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم would herd goats, ghanam, goats or sheep, مع إخوته من الرضاع, with his brothers in suckling, foster siblings. ونشأ على على البساطة والفطرة. Simplicity, بساطة, simple. Is it basata? Let me check. It's with the fatha, basatatun. Simply, right? With simplicity, basata. And he grew up with basata, والفطرة, and fitra, وحياة البادية السليمة, and the life of countryside, salima, safe, that means natural way, simple. واللغة الفصيحة, and fasih language, eloquent speech. التي اشتهر بها بنو سعد بن بكر, which Banu Sa'd ibn Bakr was famous for. وكان أليفا ودودا, and he was friendly, أليف, friendly, ودودا, and loving, beloved, ودود. أحبه إخوته, his brothers loved him, وأحبهم, and he loved them. ثم عاد إلى أمه وجده, then he returned to his mother and grandfather. وقد أنبته الله نباتا حسنا, and Allah made him grow well. Allah made him grow well. Demise of Amina and Abdul Muttalib. وفاة آمنة وعبد المطلب فلما بلغ 6 سنين, when he reached 6 years, توفيت آمنة بالأبواء. Amina died at Abwa, بين مكة والمدينة, between Makkah and Medina. فكان مع جده, and he was with his grandfather. وكان به حفيا, and he was very affectionate, حفي, affectionate or loving, affectionate towards him. يجلسه على فراشه في ظل الكعبة ويلاطفه. He used to make him يجلسه, this is يجلسه, he used to make him sit on his carpet seat, في ظل الكعبة, in the shadow of the Kaaba. And ويلاطفه, لطف يلاطفه, be affectionate, kind towards him. فلما بلغ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم 8 سنين مات عبد المطلب, and when Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم reached 8 years, Abdul Muttalib passed away. مع عمه أبي طالب, with his uncle. فكان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بعد عبد المطلب مع عمه أبي طالب, وهو أخو عبد الله من أب وأم. وكان عبد المطلب يوصيه به, فكان إليه ومعه, وكان أرفق به وأكثر حدبا. حدبا يعني عطفا عليه من أبنائه. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, after Abdul Muttalib, was with his uncle, and he was the وهو أخو عبد الله, he was the brother of Aqillah from the same father and mother. Now full brother of Abdullah. وكان عبد المطلب يوصيه به, and Abdul Muttalib had made a bequest that he should do it, he should take care of him. فكان إليه ومعه, so he would remain with him, and the custodianship went to him. وكان أرفق به, he was very affectionate, and وأكثر به حدبا, and hadb is also love, affection, min abnaihi, more than his own children also, more than his children. At-tarbiyatul ilahiyya, divine nurturing. We'll read this inshallah and end it today, I believe. Washabba, it's shabba yashibu, to become, shabba is to become youth, young man. Mahfudan min Allah ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam grew up being protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protection of Allah ta'ala, ba'idan min aqdar al-jahiliyyati wa adatiha, away from the dirt, filth, aqdar al-jahiliyyah wa adatiha, and its habits. فَكَانَ أَفْضَلُ قَوْمِهِ مُرُوءَةً, and he was the most virtuous in terms of ways. Muru'ah is, not humanity, but to have honor and good things, good character. وَأَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلُقًا, and the best in character. وَشَدُّهُمْ حَيَاءً, and he was more severe in haya, highest level of modesty. وَأَصْدَقُهُمْ حَدِيثًا, and he was the most truthful in speech. وَأَعْظَمُهُمْ أَمَانًا, and the most great, highest level, most trustworthy. وَأَبْعَدُهُمْ مِنَ الْفَحْشِ وَالْبَذَاءِ. I think it's fuhsh, not fahsh, but fuhsh. He was, fuhsh is atroce, obscenity. Fuhsh. Min al fuhshi wal bada is also evil, badi, from obscenity, lewdness, and evil. حتى ما سموه أو أسموه في قومه إلا الأمين. They did not name him in his people except that the name Amin. وَكَانَ وَاصِلًا لِلرَّحِيمِ, and he used to connect the ties. وَحَامِلًا لِمَا يَثْقُلُ كَوَاهِلُ النَّاسِ, and he would carry the burden of the shoulders of people. So kahil is the upper part of the back. Upper part, not literally shoulders, but upper, because you carry something on the upper part of the back. And the plural is kawahil, nape of the neck. Kawahil. So what? So he'll be carrying what is heavy on the backs of people, or the shoulders, kind of. Not really shoulders, but kawahil, upper part of the back. Lima yathulu kawahilun nas, what the backs of the people find it heavy. Upper back is called kahil. Mukriman lid-dayf, and he used to honor the guest. عونا على البر والتقوى, helping towards good, righteousness, and taqwa. وكان يأكل من نتيجة عمله, and he used to work, or used to eat from the efforts of his hands. ويقنع بالقوت, and he used to be content with the whatever was necessary, suffice. Qut is whatever provision he had. ولما بلغ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم 4 أو 15 سنة, when Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم reached 14 or 15 years, حاجت حرب الفجار بين قريش وبين قيس. There was a haja, is to be stirred up. حاجت, to stir. حرب الفجار بين قريش وبين قيس, there was a fight between Quraysh, war between Quraysh and Qais. وشهد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بعد أيامه, Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم witnessed some of the days of the war. وكان ينبل, ينبل يعني كان يرد عليهم نبل عدوهم إذا ما رماهم بال I don't know what it's, I don't have the print. Rasulullah used to carry the arrows. Now I would give arrows to his uncles. على أعمامه بذلك عرف الحرب, and with that he knew the war also, because after that it would be helpful. No, at this age you'll catch everything. At the age of 14 or 15 you're a very quick learner, inshallah. So you'll the strategies of war and all this, he knew war also. So Allah is showing him wars also. How do you lead a war, what are the flanks and all that. And وعرف الفروسية والفتوة, and brave qualities. He learned horse riding and brave qualities. So this is futuwa. Futuwa, not fatwa, but futuwa. Futuwa is youth, noble qualities. Futuwa, noble qualities. Futuwa, futuwat, generosity is called futuwa. So with this we are finished with this. Inshallah ta'ala we'll continue with the zawaj of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam later on. Barakallahu feekum, Jazakallahu Khairan, Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.